Have a non-denominational holiday from GC9x Plays. I'm Bominator.
I'm Carl.
I'm the Grinch, or Mr. Grinch, or Mr. Argent.
And this is Snarbu. Before we begin, I would like to note something here. Our very own Wild Weasel actually did a list of grievances for this game, or it may have been the PlayStation counterpart, I forget which. But my favorite bit of that video is when while he was typing up the said list of grievances, he accidentally misspelled the Grinch as the Grunch. So there you go.
And we are playing The Grunch on Game Boy Advance.
This is a game brought to us by Konami and Konami Nagoya, which brought us The Mummy for Game Boy Color, and possibly more notably, Castlevania Legends for Game Boy.
I forget, was the Mummy game any good?
I don't know much about it, to be honest.
Because if I recall... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I kind of like how the fonts in this, there's like 4 or something different fonts on screen right now.
It's amazing. But out of curiosity, can the Grinch steal cyborg spines and go into Ripper mode? Is he actually get revenge against Cypher in this?
Someone needs to do a model swap of that for Revengeance, because that is a thing people have done. I mean, they've added Pepsi Man to that game.
So this is based on the 2000 live-action movie adaptation, the classic Doctor Who story, starring Jim Carey. And no one really talks the live-action movie anymore, although apparently it was actually really popular at the time, so...
That is one hell of a saucy Santa lady there. There's no other way to put that lady.
So the movie was... when I saw it, it was okay. They kind of tried to make it kind of adult, kind of like... At one point, the Grinch mentions hanging himself and used the word bitchin', so...
Well, that was the time period for Jim Carrey to use the word bitchin' in a kid's... I think that movie was really carried by the fact that Jim Carrey's pretty funny when he's being goofy and angry.
I would agree, honestly.
Honestly, I felt it was somehow more cynical than Cable Guy, which Carrey also did, I think, around that time, or a couple years earlier.
Well,
I didn't really like the live-action movie.
It's probably because in the Cable Guy, he was kind of asked to tone it down, whereas I think maybe he turned the Grinch up.
That does help, yes. Something that cracks me up about this game, though, is that, there you go, anime Grinch face.
I think they used this art style in pretty much all the merchandise at the time, because I had a waffle iron that had that kind of art style on it.
I gotta say, like, in terms of licensed products, the visuals here are already way ahead of, like, 80% of licensed games, especially for the Game Boy.
So, here's the game.
That was a proper intro, with proper color and proper art. And now we're playing Pac-Man with a little girl.
It's a little bit more interesting than that, actually. You know how some people will call Pac-Man a proto-stealth game, or at least I have before? Let's be honest here. This is actually a literal stealth game. You actually have to avoid the little girl.
Oh, that's attractive. Get a good look at that.
Right.
Well, you know, you gotta have some fan service for for those attracted to ladies, and now we have for those attracted to Grinches. You know, it's equal opportunity stuff here.
Does the Grinch even have a gender? I think they refer to him as a he, but are there female Grinches? Is he the only one?
Dr. Seussian sexuality is very complicated.
Right, here's the deal. The Who's, if they actually have line of sight, and if they see you, they will chase you.
I love that Grinch face he does.
Yeah, that's quite the face he's making, that weird rapping face.
Right, with the Grinch face. Yeah.
I would love to have an avatar of that one day.
Yeah.
And if they catch us, we lose a life, as shown in the bottom right.
I like the Grinch's, like, really downtrodden sort of trot that he has. Like, I feel empathy for the Grinch character when he's just moping around.
See, that's the interesting thing about the Grinch is that as a child, you don't really identify with the Grinch. You think he's a nasty villain, and then as an adult, it's like, yep, I'd totally be doing that, stealing all the toys and shit.
Well, in the movie, they tried to
chicken naked on a pile of presents. That sounds like the life. Am I right,
Yeah,
Grinch?
eating ambiguously chicken.
Well, it's funny because in the movie they actually try to make him sympathetic, and they making the whole speech about Christmas is bad because of commercialism, how everyone hates their presents. It's kind of weird.
That's kind of ironic, given that whole movie kind of felt like a forced thing, kind of like Shrek. Like, it was
Yeah.
popular, but it felt like it was very forced, and it's very much the definition of commercialization.
Or certain movies involving wacky Tic Tacs that recently came out, too.
The yellow suppositories, which shall go unnamed.
Because I hate them. They make me wish to cease to exist.
Another thing
I mean,
we
this
can
whole
do
thing is interesting, this game, because you're going through different areas and different levels, and oh my god, you just beat a child.
Actually,
You belched on him.
I don't know. He's got some kind of horn, blows bad breath, or ice. I can't really tell.
It's his bad rotten breath. At least it is in the PlayStation game. I think he can throw
Right.
rotten eggs and stuff
We should
too.
mention that. There's an entirely different PS1, Dreamcast, and I believe PC version of this game. It's awful. Don't play it. It's really bad.
Yeah, avoid it at all costs.
He shot the woman.
Oh my
What the
god,
heck?
what the heck is wrong with the Whovian law enforcement? It's just too real life for me.
Oh man, they're keeping it real.
I'm glad that our
Real.
fellow contributor
Yeah.
Joe Star's in here, because I'm sure he'd have something to say.
Yeah, I'll just say this, the Fox engine, which this game uses, AI is far, far too intelligent, or something. I'm not really sure what I'm trying to say, but I
Were
wanted
those
to
two
make a joke
people
about the
yelling
Fox
at each
engine.
other?
Maybe
not
it's just supposed to
sure.
be saying hello. I like that they have interactions between each other. That makes like a significant, you know.
So the fat guy,
change
by the way,
pace.
he won't chase us, but he will alert everyone else on the screen, so that's interesting.
Oh, so he's the boomer from Left 4 Dead.
You'd say that.
He's kind of got like a Dr. Freud sort of general aesthetic to him. Professor
It's
Freud?
somewhat distressing.
I love the arbitrary points you're scoring. That's some good arbitrary points.
And I just got loved to
They
death,
totally
apparently, by the
factor in the
cop,
gameplay.
I guess.
Yeah, you had a heart attack.
No, because he feels love, and when he feels love, he dies. It's just like me.
I think it's actually more a case of bad touch, especially with some of the adult women characters.
I do want to point out, I mentioned it briefly, but what is it with modern Seuss things, and they have to make the, Who ladies, sexy, actually sexy.
Right, it's kind of
Yeah, like-
disturbing if you're familiar with Dr. Seuss's style, because it's very much the antithesis of that.
Yeah.
If I remember right, there was a woman in the Grinch movie who was attracted to him because he was an asshole, so, yeah.
Well, to be fair,
more-
that's...
Yeah, super
That is
real
something
life
that
Grinch
happens in
stuff
real
going
life.
on. Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
I
sometimes
mean,
you fall for a
they've
walking
packed
shag
a lot of
carpet.
charm into this particular game. Lots of really nice, sort of small-scale animations and stuff for the characters.
Seems like if you attack the kids, sometimes you get items.
Right, they drop candy canes for points. I don't think they do anything else. Oh, one thing I should point out, you can crouch and hit the A button, and that gives you snowballs you can throw at people at range, which is nice to have.
Huh.
But you
I
can't do
was
that.
wondering what those two other meters were for.
The other thing is a stage that comes up later. I might need to show off
I think there's a password system.
Right. I will have to fetch some password and game FAQs, though, if I'm not cool enough to reach the later stages.
It's a Game Boy game. There's a password system.
That's a really clever mechanic, though, the snowballs, because,
Oh man,
hey,
they ran into each other. That's great.
Right, that can happen, actually, and it's kind of useful, because it lets you get away.
I'm the biggest asshole in the world.
I like how they know he's stolen all the presents, too, because they just get all instantly depressed. Like they have a present meter or something, and they can detect when it's been depleted.
I like how they were just leaving broad daylight where anyone can just pick them up.
As has been mentioned in the chat at the moment, because Cleve the Dragon is still with us, they're just saying they're amazed that it's not a 2D platformer. And I think that's pretty true, that this game feels like it was deliberately made to be a Grinch game. It's not just any old garbage that has had the license thrown on it.
Right, like the PS1 version, which is a pretty terrible 3D platformer.
Yeah, and that's what you expect. Whereas this game, this thematically fits the Grinch as a character and as what actually happens in the movie, as I understand it. I believe he steals a bunch of presents or some such nonsense.
Right, it follows the book it follows it well enough.
Oh no, okay,
Oh no, oh no.
I made it.
Don't
Oh,
get
no.
cornered by the Christmas
Oh, no.
presents.
Hey, you actually made it.
They get
Yeah.
tired if
The
they run
Christmas
long
cubby
enough, so
hole.
that's interesting.
elite skills here, man.
You went out the Christmas store.
So you're saying that Bob is playing an MLG game of the Grinch right now?
Well,
This game
you
is
know,
like a
gaming it.
combination of Pac-Man and... Has anyone played Bonanza Brothers at Arcade Game by Sega?
Yes.
Who
I
hasn't
have.
played Bonanza Brothers?
Yeah, that was one of the Sega games that ran on the weird hardware that loaded out floppy disks. The System 24, I believe it was.
Something I
I
want to
like
bring
the
up in
art
relation
style.
to this game.
Very strange digitized sort of look to it.
Was it? Oh, going off a comment earlier that Cleve the Dragon brought up. Yes, I have actually seen the other Grinch media. The Grinch is the Cat in the Hat, and Halloween is Grinch Night. Of the two, I definitely recommend Halloween is Grinch Night because that is an absolutely bizarre psychedelic sort of like film. Like, I can't really explain what happens in that film. It just has to be seen.
Yeah, it's not very coherent.
So I'm gonna ask, while we're looking at this game, is there a map screen, or do you just have to sort of hope and work out where they are in case you get lost?
You just have to wander around.
Boy, more anime Grinch.
Bye, Shonen Grinch. No.
Christmas is about presents for these who's, so I'll just steal their presents. And that
Is
will
he the
be
Sunday or
the
the
end of
okay?
Christmas.
I don't want to know.
Did you just make a yaoi reference to Mr. Argent?
I was saying that because I don't want to know. Thank you very much.
So now we're playing
I
as
don't-
Max, and Max can't attack, but he can jump over things. And if we crouch with the B button, hit the A button, he'll
Is-
bark, which stuns everything. This is kind of abusable.
It looks
Can
like
you
his
only bark
eyes in
so
the
many
mugshot.
times?
No, you can just do it whenever you want.
Now this doesn't really tie into the Grinch as much. I realize the dog is a big character of the movie, but I believe the dog was more of a reluctant participant. He wasn't actively
He
stealing
was more
things.
sympathetic, yes.
But again, he has the screaming face of the Grinch, which is absolutely delightful.
Were you farting on that dog's face? I couldn't tell.
Why did I think he was farting on the dog? What?
So thankfully, we got unlimited continues, and we just have to redo our current stage, not our current world, which is nice.
I assume your score resets too, but really,
Yeah,
who
but who
cares?
cares?
I don't really like the way that these dogs are dogs. I don't remember what the Grinch's dog is. His name Max? I can't
Yes,
remember.
his name is Max.
But these Doberman-like things, or not Doberman, maybe Doberman, Greyhound, German Shepherd, whatever.
Pretty sure they're
They are
Dobermans.
Doberman Pinschers or whatever they are.
They're a little too normal
Realistic?
dog for a Seuss thing. They just kind of they look like someone took the dogs from a Metal Gear game and just put them into
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
I wouldn't even expect to play as a dog. But yeah, like
Honestly,
you play as Max, who's got like his palette fits the game, whereas they're like very black and dark.
yeah, those Dobermans, they look like they could be something out of like Metal Gear Ghost Babel or Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake or something.
You know, has anyone actually looked into that? I mean, now that we're looking at this, I guess someone can look into it. Are those sprites actually just taken from Ghost Babel? Is that entirely possible?
I refuse to bother to check.
I have not played Ghost Babel, so I cannot tell you.
Theoretically, I could check, but I don't feel like digging through my tile tool right now.
Well, if anyone knows, post a comment on the web zone. I do like the actual sprite of your dog is very well done. Oh my god, his mouth is
Wow,
deep
what happened to
black.
the palette?
What have you done? Is that an emulation error? Or was that?
I don't think so. Maybe they just assume people won't notice on a smaller screen.
If that's the case, yeah.
So you guys can see barking is really usable.
Yeah, if you have an unlimited amount, we have been linked to a picture of the dogs in Ghost Babel, and the answer is they're very close. Might not be identical. They're close.
Which division of Konami did Ghost Babel? Because this is Konami Nagoya.
Hey, why is that dog stylistically more appropriate?
What, the white dog?
Like, even just the palette change makes him look like more in line with the game. Oh
Oops,
man,
that's my
fast.
screensaver.
Fast dog.
I apologize for a slight technical difficulty. I'm gonna have to mute the sound on this, because apparently there's an issue now, because my screensaver activated. I apologize.
How did you... Oh, you're using a controller and it doesn't... is the music important? I mean, I haven't been listening, so for all I know...
The music's okay. It's not really Konami's best. I can tell you now they didn't get his theme song in there, and because I'm going to 8-bit rendition, so...
So it's
What?
like the whole soundtrack is entirely composed of shamisen remixes of the theme of Tara.
Do you know what? Give me a moment. I can fix this. Let's see.
And that was the last we ever heard of Bob.
The Grinch kidnapped him moments later. It was mildly tragic. I say mildly because a few minutes later he hit the Grinch with a barrel and came back.
And we're back.
I'm gonna have to... Oh,
See?
we're back.
I just had to make a save state and load again. And that was pure style.
So when you jump over them, they get spun out too, or did they run into each other?
They run into each other.
It's a nice feature. It's definitely pretty cool. You could definitely expand this game out as well. Like, it has room to become a bigger game.
Yeah, it seems like it's really solidly put together, especially considering what it is.
I'll play a few more levels and skip ahead a bit with the password. The problem with this game is that, despite its concept, it does get kind of repetitive after a while. They do a couple of things, kind of switch things up, like having max playable, but it's still kind of the same thing every level.
Yeah, it's one of those problems that I think you could level at a load of Game Boy games, like handheld games in general. There was always a limit to the amount of, the amount of game that you could cram into one of those small carts, so they typically were limited in general ways like that. I do kind of like that the dog collects dog-themed presents with the bones. That's pretty nice.
Yeah. What are those puzzle swap dogs supposed to be? Huskies or something?
I don't know if I like where this goes when the dog gets caught, though. Because, like, the Grinch gets, like, loved or assaulted or whatever by the overly huggy members of Whoville society. Whereas, the Max here just seems to get kind of mauled and bullied.
And if you get a game over, Max gets yelled at, so that's great.
He gets holdened out.
Pretty nice cave tile set here.
The game does a pretty good job of changing tile sets.
Now, this game, I believe, this is a GBC exclusive, isn't it? It's not
Right.
one of those games that works on the regular Boy.
I believe that is true, yes.
Which,
Now they're getting really jerkish with the dog placement. It's just, they're right there.
To be fair, you can just do this the whole time and just go wherever you want. I think there was one room they put a dog right in your line of sight as soon as you enter where you can't do that, but still.
Damn it, why the black tongue? Come on, guys.
It's a tiling issue, I assume. They can only use so many colors.
But there's no black in that spot.
And this might be the point where the levels get a bit too long. Just, as you can see, you have to like pick up 60 presents in this level.
Yeah,
Give me a moment. I'm gonna go pull up the password now so we can see what's up ahead.
So as I seem to understand this, you lose your score the moment you get caught. So in
You
order
have
to
3
get a high
lives.
score in this game,
You have 3 lives.
and that's all. You get 3 lives to complete the entire game.
No,
to
you have
get your high
unlimited
score.
continues.
No, to keep your score.
Right,
I'm going from the score system here.
right. But points are basically useless in this, so...
I don't care how useless they are, they're in there.
Let's see.
I mean, it's actually extra pathetic. I don't think the game saves your score, so you get a number, and then you never get to see it again.
I think this level I'm going to something different, so I need to see if I got the right level in mind.
I always appreciate tile sets in games that have pictures and things like. That's always
Okay,
nice.
there we go. And this level we're on
Pain
some
in
kind
the
of
ass to write down the password though.
thing.
Oh my goodness.
So we have to hold the B button and accelerate. And that's what the other emitter is for.
They've weaponized the entire Hue community.
Also, we can't pick up snow anymore, so we have to pick up rotten eggs and throw those instead. Also, I guess the Grinch is really confident when he's writing these things, so he doesn't freak out when he gets caught anymore on this. I don't even know what we're riding.
They kind of look like go-kart sort of things. Did he ride a go-kart-like thing at any point during the movie?
I vaguely recall something like that, but I could be wrong. I haven't seen the movie in, like, I don't know, 2 years, so,
That's way sooner than I have. I haven't seen it in like 5. I'm getting a lot of like, yeah, everyone seems to recall that he was in a car at some point. Yeah, I guess he was. I don't know if they had these elaborate race courses set up with dozens of Whoville citizens driving around in various automobiles, but, yeah.
Now, to be fair, something like this would be perfectly in Dr. Seuss's style, knowing how he did things in terms of background design and world design. Oh god, what is his spine doing? Oh, the chiropractors you'll go to.
Hey, weren't you pretty close to this scene anyway? Like, you were on...
I was
pretty
on
far into
scene
3, weren't
2.
you?
This is scene 5, I think. Wait, scene 4?
Oh, I thought it's... 4.
I forgot what it said. It was 4. I can count.
So this is, I guess, a nice change of pace. I assume the controls pretty much match the vehicle, so it's not just the Grinch in the vehicle, right?
You have to hold down
So
B to accelerate.
He
That's
is
awfully
naked.
convenient. Censorship there.
Let's go to the last
Every
level.
time they've shown a picture of the Grinch, he's covering his crotch. What are they doing?
Yeah, he just got done getting briskly punched in the crotch.
It's like Konami were under the impression that he is naked, so they have to cover his crotch. I don't want to have to draw any Grinch
Maybe they're
dicks today.
Maybe they're trying to make the Grinch seductive. Maybe that's what it is. They're trying to market it to a specific audience. The people that find the Grinch attractive.
I'm sure they
I don't
exist. I'm sure there's more than one person.
Well, it's probably the best market to cater to with a Grinch game, because I don't know who else would buy a Grinch game.
This is the last stage, I believe.
Scene 7-6.
So this is a
It's-
huge spoiler, but...
Yeah, Cube
Oh,
just
so he gets
revealed
different
something.
clothes now? That's nice.
Yeah, he gets a Santa sprite.
Yeah, they
But
think
wait,
he's
why do
naked
people
'cause
freak out?
it's-
Okay, I guess they wanna see Santa Claus. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway, he's naked because it's actually clever foreshadowing for Metal Gear Solid 3's Naked Snake.
So this level's tougher, because obviously you can't make snowballs here.
But you still get the bugle.
Do they still make bugle corn snacks? I forget.
I think they do. I never liked those much. I don't know why.
Yeah, they're okay. They're just bland.
Too salty,
I don't
maybe?
even know what you guys are talking about.
I guess you don't get these in Australia, but bugles are these horn-shaped, corn chips.
Right.
Oh, no.
Like, they literally look like bugles. And they're okay. Oh, crap.
That's it. I mean, if they're not Doritos, who cares, right?
Doing Doritos.
I can tell you that
I'm a
Bugles
video
aren't
gamer,
MLG.
and I want Doritos and Mountain Dew.
Did they ever do a tie-in with the Grinch for Mountain Dew? Because he's about the right color.
Yeah, that would have suited a lot better than the, whatever tie-ins they did.
I'm not sure what times were with that movie back then. Sure.
I don't know if I don't think they did very many, because the Grinch is not a nice character. He's not really someone you want your product to be associated with. An asshole that steals everything. I guess he could work with Bank of America, am I right, people?
I wonder if I still have that waffle iron. I think it's actually...
Did it make Grinch-shaped waffles or something?
No, it made like pancake with spirals in them. I'm not sure what
Weird.
spirals have to do with the Grinch, but...
It kind of generally ties into the two sort of shapes, I guess, but it's a bit of a tenuous stretch.
Oh, that was stylish.
Again, MLG pro Grinch play here.
Going the wrong way.
Yeah, I think there's... That's kind of cool, though, that they do the multi-level house here.
Well, this is where you really just want to start a map, and you don't have one, so...
Wait, that guy just gets terrified by the Grinch? Or
Right,
what
he's one of the
happened
people who alerts everyone else when he sees you.
there? Oh, okay.
Oh, man, are there keys now?
Yeah, you have to find those to open the
Actually,
doors.
wait, yeah, you just picked up one. I just was zoning out.
But I don't have the right key for that door, so I keep looking.
There's multiple keys? Oh, you satanic bastards.
Don't you wish you had a map now?
I asked for a map.
Thankfully, everyone forgets you exist as soon as you leave the room, so...
Well, who's do seem
Well-
to have a very short attention span.
Grinch? Like, I don't like where that was going.
I was gonna say...
That was very unfortunate, yes.
Yeah, highly unfortunate.
Again with the sexy who's.
Well, you gotta market something.
Okay, those are just
Yeah.
hidey holes. That makes sense.
I thought that, yeah, that whole scene could have been like the intro to
Dang
an
it, I ran right into
alt
that
game.
guy.
Oh, God.
Oh god, guy! Jesus, the flying pelvic toss.
Now I guess the thing with all the who's done in Whoville.
I like
try
how
that
the
one more
mission
time.
failed screen is like the basically the end of the movie almost, but he's sad? That's not good.
There's a very short staircase there, I just noticed.
Yeah, I might have to head that way.
The classy Who woman, I think there. The
Yeah,
Who
Who
mom
woman.
as such.
Could be a androgynous who person.
Okay, those are eggs. I'm going to pick those up.
Ah, so you really could have used those eggs
What are the
earlier.
eggs for? They're huge.
You throw
They-
them.
Oh.
Yeah.
There
they're
should
rotten
be a
eggs.
huge asshole. That's what they're used for.
I was gonna say, because apparently the Grinch has spectacular lifting ability.
So the children actively run after the Grinch, but adults seem to be scared of him for some reason.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Oh. Tried to
Well,
throw it
why
up, but
would
didn't have enough
I mean,
room.
kids are probably less afraid of getting rotten eggs thrown at them. I mean, they don't care.
I don't
Yeah,
know, I
it
think I would have
probably-
been pretty upset if someone threw a rotten egg at me, especially if they were really big and green.
It probably doesn't surprise me because, like, kids are more, yeah, they're less likely to be driven away by the Grinch being an asshole, I guess. Whereas the adults, like, he's an asshole. Don't talk to him.
That Grinch, he's so edgy.
Yeah, I mean, I really wish there was like a snake secret costume for Grinch.
I kind of wish they had the Metal Gear alert noise when you got caught, but they don't do that. That would have been
They
like
could
perfect.
have, though, because it's Konami. I mean, this could
Maybe
be a
I'll try and-
canonical Metal Gear game for all we know. This could be like in the deep dark future after the nanites have taken over.
I dub over like the music, but I'm pretty sure Konami would flag us because they're like super litigious.
I think the yellow door was back at the beginning, Bob.
Right, let me go check. Where the eggs
Sadly,
were, I
the
think?
eggs don't regenerate, even if
Right.
you die.
Mhm.
Well, because the presents don't regenerate either, so you're supposed to need less eggs, essentially.
Yeah, I guess that's true, but if you have to backtrack through an area, I think they should at least respawn them, even if it's
So
not
the door's
all of
just
them.
auto-opened? That's
Right.
kind of useful, I
But
guess.
now I need another key. I need the red one.
Damn it, Snabu, now we have to go back.
Hey, I didn't know. Not the one
Well,
playing the game either.
there's 54 goddamn presents left? God damn.
That's a
Well,
lot of
he is
presents.
pulling off the heist of the century here. This is essentially when he steals all of Christmas for all time.
This is the final climactic fight. Grinch, first present.
I like to imagine this as like Metal Gear Rising or something. Like he's just pulling off such a big heist that Christmas will be retroactively ruined for all future eras, and even more so.
One more time.
It'll actually erase history from the entire canon of the world
Amazing.
as we know it. It'll have never existed.
Now I kind of want to see like the Grinch fighting like a muscle-up Santa, like Senator Armstrong.
Present, son.
Okay, Cal, we need to get you to draw that.
Well, I was barely listening. I was just staring at 69 presents left.
Draw Raiden Grinch,
A
is
man
what we're
of
asking.
taste, clearly.
You're right in doing what?
Raiden Grinch.
Oh, okay. That sounds reasonable.
And Max can be Blade Wolf.
And Santa could be Senator Armstrong. The real Santa, not that faker. Although thinking about it,
I think the Raiden and Grinch would get along pretty well.
Yeah. They're,
thinking on this
they're both relatively secluded people. They're both living lives. They're both results of the S3 program.
What were you thinking on Snabu? Don't leave everyone hanging here.
I was going to say here, given that the Grinch is edgy and fake Santa here, would that make him the Shadow the Hedgehog of his own property? Because real Santa would be real, or would be Sonic. God,
Wait,
this is
now
just...
we've got... Bob!
Bob, stop, whatever you're doing. Just...
Oh my goodness, and the face goes off as well? God damn it, man.
I agree with you though, Cal. That does seem like the start of a very risque alt game.
I'm sorry, I had to. I'm okay.
Oh god, it's just unfortunate.
Well, you know, like, the game put that exact position on screen. They did that deliberately.
He just wants the key. He doesn't want the lady. He just wants the presents.
I don't think the Grinch has, like, any... He's asexual, isn't he, as a character?
Pretty much.
Something like that, yeah.
There's barely a canon here for the Grinch that meant at all outside of like the ancillary media, and they don't really establish anything about him.
Yeah, it's just like, he doesn't like Christmas and he's green. That's his, like...
Well, like I said, the
Think.
live-action game and this whole backstory, so... If you want to
Well, we don't care about the live-action game, unless it was an FMV game. That would be awesome. There's a lot of inadvertent sexuality in this game. Those blue guys sort of bow into the red woman when she's walking around.
They kind of look like Flapjack in the striped shirt. The Marvelous Misadventures of the Grinch.
Okay, I think we're to go now. 'Cause I've still got 25 presents.
You
How
gotta
do you
get that blue key
at
up there.
the top?
Right, let me see how I get up there. Do I have a way to get up there? I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
there's a hole you can climb under, and then you can go around.
Yeah, you have to go to the very top and then crawl from right or
Right.
left.
There we go, thank you.
Real Grinch starts here. At the very end of the game.
The real Grinch soul starts here.
Thankfully-
The yellow guys are a little bit tubby. They amuse
People
me.
can't catch when you're under a table, thankfully. Much like in
Yeah,
real
that's
life,
fair
remember
enough.
that, kids.
Well, if it works for nuclear armaments, I think it works for people.
I think you have to go back to the very beginning, Bob.
You gotta go back to the very beginning
Right.
to go through 3 sets of doors to get to the...
I'm
This
pretty
is
sure I've
end of
played that Doom map before, by the way. Or I'm pretty sure I played this Doom map before.
Oh,
You have to get
goddamn.
all the keys and then go all the way back to another set of keyed doors.
Well, at least it's not
This house is
Hexen.
built by the Umbrella Corp.
So when do we have to solve an obtuse chess puzzle in order to get into, like, the vault, holding all the presents?
I thought the Grinch already solved the chess puzzle with that lady. So, I guess we haven't really mentioned this, but you can't use your trumpet if you have eggs. You have to
Right.
waste your eggs.
I don't like that very much.
Well,
but
they
it's
are
the case.
superior in every way, so...
But you would, like, with this particular spot, like, I could understand Bob probably doesn't want to use his eggs. He would rather
Right, I'd
use
rather
the
just
trumpet.
blow on him to... Sorry to say it like that. There's no other way to say it, I'm sorry.
I think there is another way to phrase that other than I'd rather blow him.
I said blow on him. On him.
That's still not any better. Come on, man.
How many lives does he have left? He has more than
2.
one life left,
I have
right?
2.
You know, thinking
Oh.
on this is exactly what got the last Christmas themed stream thing. It's just all these awful conversations we were having.
What is about this holiday season that makes us so raunchy?
I think it's specifically because there's nothing else to it. It's just such a soulless holiday in a lot of ways. My favorite bit about Christmas is all the kitsch that comes with it, or kitsch, or however you pronounce that. Because it's the only thing about it that's amusing. It's how hokey it is.
I'm running low on time, I better hurry. Or I can pick these up, which might help a bit.
Oh,
Yeah,
they give
there's
you more
time power-ups.
Nice.
Not a lot, though.
Although,
Oh,
yeah.
ah.
The good thing you already,
Oh.
that reset your timer, though? Yes,
Yes.
it does. Okay,
I
so
just have to
just
be
don't
super
get
careful.
caught.
Made it.
So I guess this is
Oh
what
my
you would
God.
call a dying on purpose speed run.
Yeah, that's the point of it.
I'm taking love to save time, I guess.
You already went this. Oh, are you gonna get some more eggs? Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Did I?
If he fails this, we're ending the stream the moment he fails it. I'm not, no outro, nothing, just,
Bob, you already had all the presents in here. I'm pretty sure.
there's just
You
a
have all
T
the
left.
keys,
What are
too.
you doing? Jesus!
Okay, sorry.
You already have full time. What's going on?
Danger!
Son of a bitch.
Danger!
You know, at some point I'm gonna have to share that Christmas jetpack level I made.
Yeah, we don't have to censor anymore. We can give the full experience.
It was great too because you actually had to die in order to beat it. Like I wanted to test to see if you could beat a level after being like eviscerated, and the answer is yes, you can.
Then he does a little dance.
I like Jetpack. That's a great game, and Christmas Jetpack's even
Maybe
better.
one day we
because
should
again,
talk about
anything-
Jetpack.
Should we confirm that that's not Jetpack by Ultimate?
Yes, that is not Ultimate Play the Games Jetpack. That is another game just called Jetpack, and it's an old DOS shareware
Is
game.
Jetpack 2 still being developed? Still?
Last I checked, yes, I can confirm that.
How long does it take? What are you doing? Like, seriously, what is going on with that game? Okay.
Bob, I'm betting you he has a day job.
He has a job.
It seems like it's still in development, but you can pre-order it, and you can pre-order this wonderful game for $15. You can get Jetpack 2 beta access for $25.
I'm just trying
You
to
can
be
get
super
unlimited
careful.
expansions for $10. You can get Jetpack 2 Easter egg plus beta access for $45. The Ultimate Jetpack fan tier is $120, and to be a game sponsor, you have to spend $300.
Stop shelling Jetpack. I want to talk
Okay.
about this really lame room.
If I can get through this room, I win. Just gotta be...
Like, I'm really disappointed. I was hoping that there would be like a unique graphic or a unique enemy.
3, 2, 1, made it!
Whereas, no, it's just a room full of presents. And it's not even like a good room. That's it. Mission completed. That's it. Is that what we get? Is that all we get? I mean, gonna be
Congratulations,
it.
you've ruined Christmas forever and retroactively.
Oh crap,
so
this
that
is not the last level.
Oh, wow.
What? What have you
The
done?
real
Boy,
Grinch
80
do-
presents.
I guess this is the true final boss.
So the passcode you entered was the last level that someone had played?
Oh.
Alright. I made 2 new levels.
You can reload from this point if you go to the password screen, though.
But
No,
you
you
just went
just
to
continue
continue, so it
infinitely.
should do it, yeah.
I made 2 new levels. I might
Grinch
as well
is-
give it one more try.
The Grinch is available at all good retails, including, Tandy Electronics.
Is Tandy even still a thing?
No. They haven't existed since the late 90s. And then someone's gonna correct me and say they actually went bankrupt in 2001 or something.
So
but
is
I
this
don't
the
care.
No Mercy route final boss for the Grinch here? Are we fighting Omega Saiyans, essentially?
I could see a Dr. Seuss RPG like Undertale, I'll be honest.
Grinch is, the Jim Carrey movie was obviously, because it's Jim Carrey, had a lot of fourth wall breaking as it goes. Very self-aware.
Oh, I'm never gonna find my way around this stupid maze.
Great, so the last level is an extreme. Maybe that's why that was the last passcode, because nobody could be bothered to freaking finish this game.
Can
Or
you
if
not
only
get a map screen by pressing select or pause?
No.
What does select even do?
Nothing.
That's what it does in most games.
Sometimes it has a secondary function. Or primary function, rather, because it doesn't even have a primary function in most games.
So I'm gonna complain about how the start button is labeled the option button now. I hate that button. I don't care if it's better. Annoying.
What system are you referring to?
The PS4, I believe, replaces start with option, or select with option. One or the other. I don't know. I don't care.
Well, select on the 360, or rather, I think all Xbox consoles
It's menu
is
now,
the
right?
back button. Yeah, it's back or something. There is a separate
don't-
menu button.
Don't like that at all. Back button.
Well, it was supposed. I assume it was supposed to be a media thing, like you'd have start and then back and etc.
I really hope this is the last stage. It's probably not gonna be, is it?
You know, maybe there is no last stage. It's just like it randomly generates new levels. Just
Roguelite. I could see that with the Grinch. Okay, I could see him stealing a different Christmas every year, going around the globe, and it's all randomized.
So it's like Invisible Ink but Christmas.
Essentially, yeah.
Well, I mean, in the context of the Grinch itself, how do you make a game where effectively you're supposed to lose at the end? Because obviously, the Grinch's goal is to steal presents, but that's not the finale of the thing. He fails, ultimately, to steal a present, and then his heart grows 17 sizes, and then he has a stroke. But that's... you know, that's the plot.
Okay, maybe this is an EU where or an AU rather, an alternate universe where he actually succeeds in ruining Christmas forever and then becomes king of anti-Christmas. I don't know.
You couldn't get under that chair? That was like a no hold boss thing. Go to the left this time. You gotta get those presents, man.
Right.
Were those women arguing with each other?
Wait, those are women? I thought those were guys.
Are those guys? I can't tell.
I had assumed that they were the women characters, but I was not really concerned.
They could be dudes. I don't know. Again,
They have seemed, a lot of this, they seem to be going with, you know, pink is for ladies. They're,
right.
I mean, that particular blue character there, I think is a girl, but
I think that's a
I think
girl,
she's
yes.
she's one of the main characters from the movie, isn't she?
So wait, okay? I'm just noticing something here. You're telling me that you have to get the blue key, then go all the way back to the bottom floor to get the yellow key, which is probably opens a door on like the 10th floor. So is this like Metal Slug 3 here, where the finale is longer than the entire game combined?
Oh, come on, you weren't even trying!
One more shot, you think?
Rip.
We can sit.
Give
I can.
one more
Okay,
try,
Bob.
and then we all quit.
Right.
Okay, Bob. I can sit here all night and see you fail this game if you really want me to.
Yeah, I got nowhere to go tomorrow.
I gotta get the washing off the line. Yeah, it's exciting. It's real life. I brought real life into it.
Look
Hope
at
you're
you,
happy.
who
That's what
doesn't
the Grinch has done.
have a dryer.
Oh yeah, let's use the dryer. You just hate the environment. That's what you do. We have a thing called the sun. It's not out today. It's really cloudy and shit. But if we did, we would.
Yeah, in my neck of the world, it's basically permanently cloudy for much of the latter part of the year, so not really practical for me.
Yeah, in Australia, we generally have a lot of sun. We're kind of famous for it, but...
Also, I usually wind up drawing my uniforms like an hour before I leave for work, so that might not be practical, being outside that is. I'd have to plan ahead, and that's something I don't like doing.
Problem is that guy backs up when he sees you, so...
Well, he doesn't see you. The guy on the other side of him sees you. But their AI in this is reasonably predictable. I think the only thing you can't predict is they seem to look in arbitrary directions. They just kind of randomly... Right. I don't think they can't do a 180, can they? They sort of have to look. They have to sort of preempt where they're going to look, but only kind of. It's a mean one. Mr. Grinch. That's a line from the song, right? Because I can't remember anything else.
Is that song copyright or something? Is that why they couldn't use it in this game? Or are they just lazy, I wonder?
The rights are kind of weird. Like, I think they only license out certain parts of things at a time. So, like, say they could get the license to the Grinch's name and character, but not the score.
It's using like a
Grinch
remix of...
sure is itchy.
It's using like a remix of Jingle Bells right now, so...
Maybe because it's not actually, like, they didn't want to play the music because there was no reason to.
They could put it over the credits or something, that would have been nice.
You seen the credits?
Well, not yet.
Maybe they did. I mean, I have no idea, they probably didn't, but maybe they did.
My D-pad got stuck for a second, but I think I was able to save myself. Yeah, now this is getting kind of mean.
I think careful use of your trumpet would probably work. It looks like you can hit multiple people with one trumpet blast, so that's useful.
Something I found interesting about this, though, is that you have these long, complex stages that require a very careful, balanced approach, and then you actually have a time limit, which sort of puts this sort of stress on the player, which you don't typically see that in a stealth game. Like, not unless you're dealing with a special mission.
Alright.
Mission failed.
Well, for a game like that, I think that's, like, the good amount to show.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
failed
gives you
to
a good
ruin
indication
Christmas,
what the game is.
and now Christmas is saved. What a load of bullcrap.
Well, this is canon. This is a true ending. Right?
So you're saying a speedrun of this game just requires you to die on the first level, and then you've beaten the game?
Yeah,
Well,
that's pretty much.
I sure hope there is a video on YouTube that anyone watching can go look at and see the actual end of the game. Which,
Right.
It's probably almost definitely going to be the Grinch being like, actually, I give all your presents back, I love Christmas.
So yeah, if you're really dying to know how this game ends, I'm absolutely certain there's a long play. In fact, I can probably look one up right now for you. Although you won't be able to see it, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to see it. I like this continue screen. It's a very, a lot heavier than the rest of the game.
Uh-huh. It's like he and the dog are melting together for some reason, and then the man's melting with them too.
Grinch thing, and his dog that for some reason supports Christmas, you know. That's
So, I cannot find a long play for the Game Boy Color version, but if you're dying to see what the deal with the GBC version is, or the PlayStation version, excuse me, yeah, there's a couple long plays of that, it seems, or at least Let's Plays, or whatever it is the kids are into these days.
You just told them it's one of the worst games ever, and now you're trying to get them to watch it.
We would recommend that you watch our fellow GC9x contributor Wild Weasel's video on it. He has a lot of thoughts on it.
Maybe we can link that. That's all for the Grinch, the Grunch, the Granch.
Granch dressing. Don't ask where it comes from.
Well, this is better than Cat in the Hat starring Mike Myers. Good night, everybody.